Hello, Daniel Boone band members and families. Another quick tutorial video here on how we can update some of our info, especially our contact info inside of CHARMS. That way we can assure that we are receiving our emails and also text messages whenever we leave for trips. Important to have our cell phone numbers and carriers in the CHARMS system. That way myself or Mrs. Ben can use CHARMS to send out a text message should anything happen while we're on a trip, such as, say, things I know have happened past years, a bus breaking down or a truck breaking down on our way home. Text messaging would be the quickest way for us to get in contact with everyone. So last time we looked at handouts and files. We also took a look at our calendar and the recording studio when it came to submitting items for our auditions due here shortly. Now we're going to look into updating info, and this is what we're going to click on in order to access things where we can put in address, phone numbers, emails, and also edit things for our parents. So I'm in here in our test student account, our little dummy account that I created. And you can see here I can input my name, my address, the phone, a cell phone, the carrier, email, and a couple other things over here. What I'm going to talk about is just our cell phone and our email, because those are the two most important things to make sure that we're staying in touch with everyone, and also we are providing a means in order to get in touch with everyone in the event that we have an emergency happen when we're on a trip, such as, say, for marching band. If we take the bands to an adjudication festival, we go see a performance as a group, or like in the spring, we're in Canada, right, outside of the country, and we need to get in touch with people. So I'm going to input just going to make up a cell phone number here for us to input in here. Now, the next thing that's really important is you cannot just put in your cell phone number. You have to also select the carrier down here. Now, they do have all carriers listed. Some of the big ones are like Verizon, most of US Cellular, Sprint PCS is here, Nextel, a lot of other ones. Now, I personally use AT&T, and you'll notice here for AT&T, we have these two options. We also had the same thing with US Cellular, and we have two options for Verizon as well. So what this is, MMS and SMS. MMS stands for Multimedia Messaging System, and SMS stands for Short Messaging System. To explain that even simpler, the MMS is going to be the messaging system used for most, well, not most, but all smartphones, because smartphones are using 4G or 3G roaming data. SMS is for our older generation phones. So the phone I actually had just before I got my smartphone now was an SMS phone. It was one of those old flip phones. Did not have data, did not have the capacity to send multimedia messages such as video, pictures, and the likes. So I have a smartphone, so I'm going to be going with the MMS. If I had an older phone that did not have 3G or 4G, I'd be selecting SMS. So if you have a smartphone, we're going with MMS. Now, it's only for some carriers. You'll notice, let me just pop this back up. You notice like Metro PCS doesn't have an MMS or an SMS. That's because these carriers only have one way of sending messages. AT&T still has those two ways. US Cellular, Verizon as well, still have those two options. Now, I'm also just going to go ahead and put in my email, just to test one in here. And that's going to set up things for email to be sent out and also text messages to be sent out as well. So I have that set up for my test student. We're going to go in here into the adults or our parents' information. And I'll just put someone in here. The home phone, work phone, those are optional here. We're going to put in our cell phone because, once again, this is the most important. So put in my little fake number here for us again and selecting my carrier. We'll say this, my parents also on AT&T MMS. Now, we can also should add an email. And if you have a secondary email, you can add that in as well. And we'll say this, how about this is my mom? We'll say this is my mom here. So now that I have both my cell phone and carrier set up and also my email set up for both accounts, go back here to my students' information, I'm going to update both of them. All right, very important you click this update button. Otherwise, you can put that information in and it will not save. Now, whenever I send out an email as the director to anyone in indoor guard, percussion, jazz band, marching band, anything for this particular student, they will receive that because they're signed up for these groups and these lists. So hopefully that gives everyone an idea on how we need to sign up for the cell phone for text messaging and also our email. That way we can keep in contact Cell phone, very important, especially for our groups that travel a lot, such as marching band, both indoor groups and also our jazz band students as well. So please make sure you have that set up before we start going on trips here, especially marching band this Saturday. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. You have my email and my office phone number.